Now, what really makes this great is the fact that it gets super compact. And you can kind of keep this in a jersey pocket. You can keep this in your pocket or even just in your pack. You can take it out, open it, pop it in, and get recording. So one thing that I did find pretty neat about this is the fact that they have numbers on here to help line up your action camera back to the same spot every time. That's huge. I've found myself not using that and really paying the price by having some footage that was either looking too high or too down. So now look, this thing is super convenient. It's easily become one of my favorite mounts to use on rides where I just want to record the day, but not necessarily make a full-fledged video out of it. Back to putting this thing in your mouth. These are really thick and you have to bite down on that. It's not necessarily the fact of biting down on it and making it hurt. It's the fact that when you get it in there and back there, your gag reflex kind of kicks in. Not everyone has one of those, but I do. Now, one thing that they did to make this a little bit less of a problem is when you first buy this, there's actually instructions to melt the part where you bite onto. As you can see on mine, there's a bunch of bite marks, and that's by design. So it's really easy to kind of get this set up. You kind of just set it in boiling water for a bit, take it out, let it cool off just a hair, and then you pop it in your mouth to form it. You do need to be careful because I actually probably need to redo mine. When I actually formed it to my mouth, it's actually a little bit crooked. Yeah, see? I'm looking at you, and it's pointed that way. So to counteract that, I kind of have to get out of the little bite marks to kind of straighten it up, and then that's when the gag reflex kicks in. One huge positive part about using this thing is the fact that it's going to give you super good looking footage because your head is naturally stabilized. And by just, popping this in your mouth, you effectively have a chin mount without having to wear a full face helmet. I like that. And now a quick word from the sponsor of today's video, Upcycle. Do you have a bike just sitting in your garage collecting dust? Is it a bike that you let your friends borrow when they're in town? Or is it an XC bike that you only ride when you have the whole day to ride? List that bike over on Upcycle. It is a peer-to-peer bike rental marketplace that lets people like you rent your bike for cash. And we could all use a little more cash. Upcycle prevents fraud by verifying the ID of all the renters on the platform. They're also going to facilitate the payment, and they even offer a $5,000 protection against theft. And they'll even handle the marketing of your bike to potential renters. On a couple positive notes for this thing, it is incredibly lightweight, and it does seem to be very durable. It's super tiny and it's super lightweight. I mean, what more can you want from this thing? It's an absolute great idea for anybody who's a weight weenie and doesn't want to use a chest strap when they ride. This is a great alternative to that. So there you have it. The grill mount version 3.0 from Pro Standard has quickly become one of my favorite GoPro mounts or action camera mount. But it's also become one of my most hated because until I fix this issue, it just makes me gag all the time.